Hi, everyone, and welcome to Mastering the Shadows. I am your host, Mystic Lee, and today we are going to be working with both crystals as well as with oracle cards, right? So let me move this over towards the comments. All right. So before we get started, what I like to do in all my videos when you join me is just to clear the air, right? Because whenever we open ourselves up to the spiritual realm, right, we're opening it up to both light and darkness, right? All the light, all the darkness. So we want to make sure that we clear our aura, we clean our energy, so that way whatever comes to us is most in alignment with our self-truth, right? And I want to refrain from saying connected to our higher selves, right? Because shadow work is all about connecting us to both our higher and our lower selves. And that way that we can seek self-empowerment through both the light as well as also through the darkness and through those lower vibrations. So before we get started, where is my bowl? So anytime you are anywhere, if you feel unaligned or anything like that, all you have to do is take a big deep breath in. You really don't need anything else other than your breath in order to basically activate this inner magic. So, hey, Pramila. So, Pramila is saying that for some reason she can't join on Spirit Realm Network. Okay, thank you so much for letting me know that. I am on spiritrealm.net, YouTube, as well as Facebook. So, for those of you chiming in, and yes, Pramila, I'd love to give you a reading to start with. So, before we get started, again, we want to make sure that our energy is clear and right, that we're just being in aligned with anything that is vibrating that matches our self-truth. So this can be if you are like let's say you're out and about somewhere, you have anxiety or you just feel unbalanced. You can practice this at any point in time, but I just really suggest doing it when you connect when you're connecting with the spirit realm. So, hey, Sarah. Hey, Roses. Welcome. I'm so glad that you guys are here. So, all right. So, let's go ahead and start off with taking that big deep breath in through our nose. And what we want to do is we want to count to 3, right? Because 3 is that divine number. Remember? So, breathing in through our nose. 1, 2, 3. Holding it. 1, 2, 3, and then releasing it out our mouth. 1, 2, 3. Hey, Rhonda, welcome. Welcome. All right, so we're just doing this quick meditation real quick. Again, we just want to breathe in and out anytime that we get a chance, so that way we're regulating, right? Because every time we breathe, we're activating that heart chakra. The heart chakra is the door between our higher and our lower self, right? That shadow energy, that gray energy. Breathing in and breathing out as you are allowing for that new vibrant energy. And breathing out as you release all things that do not align with your self-truth. Breathing in and out as you allow for that tension in your shoulders to drop and relax. Breathing in and out as your arms let go, as you allow yourself to flow. Breathing in and out as you release all that tension from your chest. Allowing for that energy to drop down your spine as you let go. Let go and flow. As that energy continues to move down, as those knots in your stomach unwind and let go. allowing for that energy to move down, flowing down through your hips, down through your bottom and through your thighs. Allowing for that tension to flow, flowing down through your knees and through your shins as it travels all the way down your legs. All the way down through your ankles and through your feet. As you just let it go, knowing whatever does not serve you serves something else. So just let it go, right? Your yin matches something else's yang, right? Yang to you can be yin for someone else. It's all about finding things that match our frequency and our vibration. Hey, Sarah. So Sarah is saying she's also having a hard time getting onto the Spirit Realm website. So, having a few little things going on. So that's probably user error. So, hey, Kelly, welcome. All right. So, Pramila, we are going to start with you first for your reading. All right. So, again, guys, the deck that we are using today is called Dark Mirror. And yeah, my nails look janky as can be, but you can find these on Amazon. I've had a couple people reach out. They are in sale right now on Amazon. So if this deck has been resonating with you, I definitely suggest picking it up, because obviously I'm not going to be doing this deck every week, but it definitely has been calling a lot, because it is really a great deck for people who are first getting started with your shadows. And then, I have advanced to other decks before in the past. So we'll probably pull some other shadow cards in other sessions. So, all right, Pramila. So Rose is saying, click the direct link, it helps. All right, so for those of you having a hard time getting onto the Spirit Realm, let me just put the website in here to help create that link for you, since it looks like it's helping with the Rose is spiritrealm.net. All right. Good evening, Cheryl. Yes, we're doing well. I hope you are as well. All right, so if you'd like a reading, just go ahead and put that in the comments, and you can bug me in the comments. I'm very ADHD. I'm not very good at keeping a line of people. So just kind of throwing that out there. So, but yes, Pramila, I'm focusing on your cards first. All right, Pramila, so here is your card right here. All right, so it is forgetting oneself. Often when we are growing up, like from childhood to adulthood, we talk a lot about this concept of our inner child, right? Because a lot to do with our inner child is very tied to our self-truth, much more so than our adult self, right? For some of us. So as we get older, society pushes us and tries to form us into these boxes, right? But a lot of us, we don't fit into boxes really. So in order to get stuffed into that box, we will allow for parts of ourselves to kind of get sliced off here or pushed in deep down, further in within there. So this card is talking about how you have been forgetting yourself. You've been forgetting yourself so that way, it's almost like a defense mechanism. Like you've been kind of forgetting yourself as a way to kind of fit into society. You want to get along with other people. That is part of your self-truth. That's a huge part of your self-truth. So you've been stuffing in parts of yourself so that way you can better vibrate with those around you. Right now, Spirit is saying that that's actually caused a very you're very unaligned with self-truth, right? You've forgotten these parts of yourself. So it's a really good time to sit back and think about all those dreams that you had as a child, what you wanted for your future, and start writing that list down and start, taking note of the things on that list that you did accomplish, because that's really amazing. Those are the things that are part of your self-truth that were in alignment when you were young, but are also still in alignment for today. Also taking note those things that are on that list that have completely gone away. Maybe ideas you haven't thought about in 5, 10, 15 years, right? These are parts of your self-truth that have been altered. Sometimes our self-truth does alter over time, right? But we don't know if it really belongs to us if we've forgotten what those ideas are, right? Sometimes we forget about part of ourselves and we're like, yeah, that still would be really cool. Those are things that are great goals for you to set right now, for you to chase after, right? And that's what this card is about. Is it's more than just remembering oneself. It's also about setting goals for yourself of things you have not yet accomplished, and to not forget that those are parts of yourself, right? Accomplish things for yourself, not for anyone else, but because that's part of the identity that you really wanted to achieve, right? As a child to adult, right? So I hope that resonates for you. I think that's a really beautiful message, because a lot of us do forget that. And a lot of us, we do change and we do shift, right? Part of what we wanted as a child, clearly not everything's going to be the same as an adult. For example, a lot of us as children maybe wanted a pony, right? As you get to be an adult, you realize, oh my gosh, I have to make this much money to pay for the land, pay for land taxes. I've got to pay for the feed. I've got to take it out. I have to make sure it has enough time. How am I going to keep it protected? I have to take it to the vet. And you might think, all that's a lot. That's not quite in my vibration now. But I still like horses, right? So, looking for things that might match something that you're still interested in, or just be like, you know what? I'm not even really that interested in horses. You're not forgetting yourself. You're acknowledging that was part of yourself, but now you've altered and you shifted. So this is a great for meditation to take for that self-care and just kind of meditate and think about. So you're welcome, Pramila. I'm glad that you enjoyed the reading. So yeah, Sarah said, I just came back through here. The network is not working. Okay. So the Spirit Realm website looks like you are only streaming on the Spirit Realm Network Facebook right now. Okay, so unfortunately, I'm not on the Spirit Realm website right now, but I'm glad that we're here on Facebook. So for those of you who are joining me, I'm normally also on the Spirit Realm network, because I do get censored a lot on Facebook platforms. So the Spirit Realm has given me such a fantastic opportunity to allow my voice to be heard on their website, which for me is helping me not to forget myself, right? Because whenever we are in action with our self-truth, right, it means our self-truth is vibrating in this physical dense reality. And that's really what this card is about. Not just for the awesomeness with Spirit Realm Network allowing me to vibrate and not forget my self-truth, but also allowing, just as giving another example of, there are all these different ways that society and the world is going to want us to forget our self-truth, right? We're always going to be pushed around. Everybody's got a strong aura and everyone's pushing with everyone else. And it's great to compromise, but make sure you're not forgetting yourself. So thanks, Tori. Thanks, Jim. All right. So who else would like a reading? Yes, Danielle, it is. This deck is awesome. It says, ooh, that's one of my favorite decks. Mine's pretty harsh. Yeah. So Danielle, I like this deck because I feel like it's not quite as harsh if you're really wanting to go that extra step with your shadows and really digging into something a little bit more harsh. Can be a little extra triggering for those who are still working on getting to those higher parts of the shadows, the lighter parts. But if you're ready to get in a little deeper, Tarot of Shadows is an absolutely other fantastic deck to use. Actually, Danielle, if you're open, I'd really like to pull a card for you from this deck since, you know, if you're ready for that harsh shadow truth. And I am probably going to have to use the book a little bit for this because I don't use this deck nearly as much. It is definitely a lot more extra shadow work than I'm personally as well versed in, as opposed to the shadow energy, right? That is in this Dark Mirrors. This is a little bit, it's got a lot more light energy to it. This is just getting, oh yeah, my third eye is just like, oh wow, we're going here. You just picked this up. Are we getting this dark? Cheryl Nelson would also like one. I could use a card. All right, so Tori and Dan. So let me see if Danielle replies. If not, I'm going to do one for Cheryl and then for Tori. So again, guys, if you'd like a reading, just shout it out in the comments. I'm so ADHD, I might totally forget. And also, there's like such a lag on this too. By the time what I say gets to you and then you guys respond and then it gets back to me, it's not quite so immediate, but what can we do, right? We're talking to each other across all of space and time. So Sarah would also like a reading. All right. Cheryl, are you ready for something pretty dark? Are you ready for it to get into the shadows really deeply? Because Tarot of Shadows is ready for you. We're getting a little deeper into the darkness. Also, if you guys would like a reading, you might want to let me know. Are you ready for those deep shadows, or are you still wanting to be a bit on the surface with your shadows, right? So that way I know what your level of comfortability is. So Cheryl, got your card right here. Ooh, you've got the Holy Grail. The Holy Grail. Yes, Pramila, technology is absolutely amazing. So yes. So we're going to pull this up. I just want to see what it says with the Holy Grail because, I mean, the shadow energy that comes from it is more for social conditioning, right? So obviously this deck is going to be a little bit more Abrahamic related as opposed to Dark Mirrors is not specific to anything like that. It's just more, you know, on the surface and more personal. This deck's going to be getting more into those occult levels. So, and then Danielle, yes. So Danielle, let's get rough and ready and real. Yeah, Danielle. So I'll pull yours next. All right, so here it says, in the Christian tradition, the Holy Grail or Holy Chalice is a vessel of the Messiah, used during the Last Supper to serve the wine. This is the same cup in which Joseph of Arimathea collected the Messiah's blood at Golgotha. So it's also been used in Celtic mythology as well. So it is universal from one place to another. It is the unifying element in all these is the symbolic meaning that surround the magic power of the Grail to heal, preserve youth, and provide eternal life. So the main message in this card is to make sure that you're having pure thoughts to create positive results, achieving the goal, strengthen of your mind and your spiritual knowledge, verification of worth. So it's very interesting. This card, while it is talking about the Holy Grail, it is somewhat connected to forgetting oneself, right? And that whole need to seek out goals that match your self-truth, right? But this is more talking about the youth that is actually created in chasing after yourself, basically. It's interesting as we go through life, right? If we're chasing after what other people's ideas are, we tend to get numb. We tend to get bored. We tend to need to Netflix and chill just to escape reality. The Holy Grail, this card is talking about setting those self goals for you and really going after them, because it's not just achieving the goal, it's also the adventure to get there. It's the adventure getting towards it is what's going to keep you young. That's why this Holy Grail is talking about preserving magic, preserving your youth. It's because as you're being active, right? Being when you're not moving anymore, everything ages quicker. Not just the human body, but even like buildings. If buildings aren't used, they crumble apart quicker. If buildings are used more often, they actually can last longer, right? They have more youth within them. And that's what this card is about. It's about taking that action, because the action that you're not taking, that's part of your self-truth, is it's more than that. It's part of your soul. So see, we have our self-truth where we have like these goals we want that are just part of this life. But there's also our self-truth that's like our soul. That's part of our self-truth no matter what lifetime that we're in. So what I'm seeing here with this Holy Grail is part of what you're not being active in is it's part of your soul. It's part of your soul truth. So this card is just reminding you to stay active. Stay active with your soul's truth, because more opportunities that match your soul's truth will open up. You will start to find more people who have those same beliefs, but it's just about taking action, because really your body is the cup, and the blood is the action of fulfilling your spiritual truth. So you are the Holy Grail, and what fuels you is, instead of it being the blood of the Messiah, it is basically the labor of your own actions. It's a very powerful energy, and really when you study the Messiah of the Abrahamic faith, that's really what he's pushing for everyone, is to be able to forgive themselves and forgive others, so that each one can be pushed to achieve their self-truth guilt-free, right? So Cheryl is saying, I'm working on this currently, finding myself again. Hey, Angie. Hey, hey, Tammy. How are you doing, Tammy? Hey, Robin. Welcome. Thank you so much, Honora. Honora is saying, hello, dear sister. I shared with my Facebook page and my own 2 group pages for you today. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I just, I love that we all share with each other, right? We're all sharing each other's energy as you're allowing me to connect with you. And I really appreciate it. So, oh no, Tammy, what's going on? Tammy's saying you're not doing too well. Let me know what's going on. And Cheryl is saying, I need to do this to have no hangups in my life. Yes. And whenever you feel like you have a hang up, sometimes you do need to do a little bit of self-chat. Am I feeling hung up because this is what other people think of me? Or do I have fear that this might not go right? Or I really want to do this, but I fear how other people view me. Having those conversations and what's specifically holding you back can help you to kind of unbind yourself. So thank you so much. Roses is saying, shared with my like-minded friends. I appreciate that, right? All of our minds being like-minded, sharing that vibration. So, okay. Daniela. Daniela, are you still here with us? Because I know that you wanted to get deep into the shadows. So I'm going to pull your card next, because I know I was going to pull yours before Cheryl, but I didn't see your reply quick enough. So I'm going to pull your card next. So, hey, Cindy, welcome. First time here. So Tammy is saying health issues and dealing. Yes. So that's right. That's your body. That's your vessel and family. So Tammy, that's a lot of your pentacle tool, right? Your pentacle tool is going to be your health, your wealth, and your inner circle, right? So last year when I did shadow readings, that's pretty much what I focused on. Unfortunately, you can't get them on Facebook. Facebook deleted all of them. But this is your pentacle tool, right? It is all to do with your health, your wealth, and your inner circle. And it sounds like you're getting pretty hit hard with that. So drawing out a pentacle like this, right, and putting inside all the things you want to come into your tool, right? All the health, the type of health that you want, you can put in here. The way you want your family and friends to treat you, you can write inside of here. And then on the outside, write all the things that you don't want, right? And kind of, shade the outside in black as a bubble for protection. And you'll start to shift that energy. You'll start to shift what's going on with your health and what's going on with your family. You'll start to shift it a little bit more in your favor. So, and sometimes, it's just that direct when we know that one of our tools is off, right? One of our mystical tools within us, learning how to shift it can help shift how those other things are matching with us. So, I just made a big transition, so I need to know what's up. Yes. So Danielle, I'm going to pull a card for you, and then Tori, I will pull your card next. So yeah, and Tammy, let me know if that works for you. Because really, if you draw out this tool, right, the pentacle tool, if you draw this out and you work with it just once a day with a lit candle and some meditation music going, you should start to see some changes within a week. It's super strong technique to use. So please, please, please let me know if you try it and what type of results you're getting. Hey, Angie. Hey, Tian, Kenny, welcome. I'm so glad to see you here. Cindy, welcome. Yes, thank you, Roses. All right. Yes, Daniela is here. Sunshine for some deep-rooted shadow work, right? All right. So here is your card. And then after this, we're going to switch back to the other deck because this all those deck cards just flew out. And it's a pretty heavy energy, and I feel it pushing on my third eye, making me want to go to sleep. So we're going to lighten it up after this, okay? So here is your card right here. Let me put these all to the side over here. Here is your card. Protection from evil spirits. Right? We've got a lot of energy going on. You've got people who are throwing that evil eye on you, right? I mean, we like to think that people have positive thoughts, and if they don't have positive thoughts, their thoughts go to nothingness. But unfortunately, when people have negative thoughts about us, it does push up against our manifestation, right? So this is talking about creating protection, right? Creating some protection spells, maybe putting up a protection grid. Actually, let me go ahead and, Daniela, let me put up a protection grid up for you here for you to connect with. And anyone else who feels like they're dealing with some gossip or some negativity, like Tammy, you might want to connect to this as well, right? Just for some protection. So and that's one thing I love about working with the shadows, because we're light energy, all that high vibration is just love, love, love. The shadows will show you where you need to apply protection, because while love is great for healing, sometimes it's more energy efficient to just deal with some protection, right? So what I'm going to use here is I'm actually going to use this crystal right here, which is a double tourmalated smoky quartz, right? That video is a little grainier. So it is a double tourmalated, right? So it's going to shoot energy out both ends. I'm going to put this in the center of the grid because I want it to be really strong going from north to south, and we're going to create some great points there. All right, let's see here. Let's see what type of pyramids I've got. You know what? We might just supercharge this, and I'm actually going to also put in, so these are some Herkimer diamonds. Herkimer diamonds are full with energy. They really can push out a lot of energy. And so I'm going to push one out for each side. And a lot of these pieces, they're not fully double tourmalated, but they're pretty close. And they've got black tourmaline in them. So not only are these really powerful as Herkimer diamonds for programming any grid. These specifically are fantastic for protection. So I actually want to make sure both sides are matching with the dark energy. So this one, as you can see, has got even more of, let's see here, of that dark energy to push out there. So we've got it going, north and south, and also east to west. We want to make sure all 4 directions. And then what I'm also going to use is some black tourmaline. Oh, I didn't set up the points on each end. Okay. We do want to do that, right? So I don't want to make it too aggressive at the ends. You could technically put pyramids at the end if you feel like you're really under a lot of attack. That'll shoot it up really high, really far, and anyone who does not match your vibration is going to be massively pushed away. Like not even in your sphere. So what I'm actually going to put in here is I'm going to put in a heart going from north to south, right? Because we want to make sure it's still balanced. We also want to make sure that we're still putting some love out there, right? We want to balance our head and our feet in love. But also as we reach our arms out, we want to reach out for nurturing. We want to be nurturing ourselves and we want to be nurturing others, right? And so we're going to put these flower images at the ends, right, to help filter the nurturing energy as we reach out. So as we're reaching out towards others and we're expanding, right, if those people have negativity, you're just pushing out nurturing energy towards them. You're not pushing out anything technically negative back towards them. But I also am putting some more tourmaline around it because we do want to make sure that you have really, really strong boundaries. With this protection from evil spirits, it's not just from the evil eye of others, right? A lot of times when people send out those evil eyes, if they have entities, a lot of dark entities, they feed off any type of negativity, any type of self-doubt energy, any type of that gossip energy, any type of a self-pity party, all that energy. Evil spirits are going to push at your buttons. They're going to try and trigger you just for you to push off that energy because they like to eat at it. So there's all different things going on here with this protection grid here, but that's what this is for. It's for you being balanced both in the head down to the feet in love with the hearts, but also allowing you to open up your arms and expand out, expanding yourself outward. So then that way, as you're expanding out, you're expanding with just that nurturing energy, nurturing towards yourself, nurturing towards anyone else who's around you. And that way, as they're coming into your vibration here, they're also going to be head to feet for love for you and also wanting to embrace you and nurture you as well. So this is from evil spirits. This can be from the evil eye, anything of that nature, because they are energetically all intertwined. So this is going to help you with that and also help you invert it if you feel it. If you feel that energy, just say, you know what, I connected to this grid. Bring that energy on. Bring it in, because I know my protection field is going to invert that energy. It's either going to push it away or it's going to transform it so that I still get that energy, but that it's transformed to match these vibrations that we've set up. So yes, you're welcome. All the extra amount of protection that we can get. So yes, Cheryl. Cheryl's saying I need this too. You're welcome, Sarah. Hey, Jan, welcome. And yes, Danielle, you're so welcome because, I'm sure you've probably been feeling a lot. I know that Pluto is in retrograde, so a lot of us are probably feeling a little bit of some extra triggers. But when you get some of these spirits coming around, they are going to push those buttons. So I'm sure you've been having some weird things going on the last 7 to 10 days that you don't normally, some drama that's not normal. So Tammy's asking, what do you do if a family member hates you and tells you? Well, I would say you can set up this grid and then also put some rose quartz in it, right? Put some of that rose quartz energy, or write that family member and put a bubble around them, a black and pink bubble for protection and love, also to keep yourself protected from that hate, but also to reinforce that loving energy for yourself, right? But also for them, because they're probably also having some self-hate moments. That's why they're lashing out. So, all right, Tori, let me pull a card for you next. So, yes, you're welcome. So, yeah, Robin is saying you've definitely been feeling this, right? I mean, anytime one of the planets go retrograde, if it doesn't match our vibration, we're going to be triggered. If you're triggered, these spirits, it's like a shark smelling blood in water. As soon as you bleed a little bit in the water and those great whites smell it, it's like, psh, 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 psh. You're going to find what that is and eat it, right? So when we're going through certain planets going retrograde based on what your astrology is, right? Because not everybody responds to a retrograde the same way. So if these retrogrades are a little harsher for you, you're going to be having more triggers. Again, you're putting off that energy in which the entities love to feed on, and they're going to be attracted to it. So again, this protection grid is up there to help you, and you can add other crystals to it, right? Like if you understand how like the chakra system works and you want to add other things into your protection, this is just a straight, simple, to the point protection grid. You can actually add, we can add some amethyst to it to add to protect your third eye. Like if you feel like you're having a lot of negative thoughts about yourself, a lot of negative thoughts about other people, you might want to put some amethyst in there to help clear the chatter in your mind, right? If it's negative thoughts towards yourself, obviously you probably want to put in some rose quartz for healing as well. So yes, you're welcome. Roses is saying your topics are extremely helpful in diversion mode. Yes. And that's a huge part of dealing with the shadows, right? And mastering the shadows is knowing when these things are going on is not only diversion, but also like energy can be transformed, right? If you're getting hit with a lot of energy, you don't want to just dispel it, right? Because that's a lot of energy that can be utilized. We want to learn how to work and how to master those shadows so that way we can transform it to something that can help us at the end of the day, right? If you're getting hit by this, right, you want to make sure, hey, if I'm getting hit by this, it might as well benefit my life. How are we going to invert this to make this transition for us? So Danielle is saying, I have clinical depression, so it can be a daily fight. Been doing better combating it for the most part. So yeah, so Danielle, let's go ahead and add, where are my, I have a whole container of some crystals for your third eye. Let's add some third eye crystals in here, because that clinical depression, that is a lot. That's a battlefield in your mind. It is also chemical, but it results in the mind. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some extra hearts in here. At the top, because I keep talking about amethyst and the rose quartz, we're just going to add that in there, right? So we're going to help to add in that for your third eye. So that way the chatter that's going on in your mind isn't such a battlefield. You can start to gain a little bit more control over those thoughts that you're having. And that's where spirits like to go first, is to the mind, and then to your energy levels, and then start breaking down your body and giving you health issues. So, and then here we've got these for also hearts. So we've got a lot of heart. We do have the protection for nurturing, but now we also have this heart energy for that self-love, right? That self-love energy. Self-love. I'm looking at my other camera like, oh my, this is not perfectly geometrical. My OCD. So we've got the top here. Oh my gosh, this is going to annoy me. The top in the lower half, the lower part, right? So rose quartz is part of the lower part of your heart. It is connected to your root chakra, where the I am begins. But it is even though your root is like the lowest part of your vibration, the pink is just with the rose quartz is full of that light energy shooting it straight, like basically into your roots, into your self-truth. So that's why we want it down here at the bottom like this, right? And then the amethyst at top to clear out your eyes. So yeah, so Danielle is saying you're absolutely right. Yeah, so even if you guys are joining in after the live video and watching this grid has now been placed in time. It is now set. So if you want to connect to this, it's open. If you're watching this, it's open. Even if you're watching this video 4 years later, this space of protection has now been created for your mind, for your self-love. So if you are dealing with any sort of self-harming thoughts or intense depression, clinical depression, this should help you to kind of start to work towards alleviating that. So, because I know it can be a struggle. I've definitely have been there myself, and it takes time, right, to figure out what those chemicals are. So yeah, so Cindy is saying, I'd love to stay, need to lay down. I shall catch you next time. Have an outstanding day. Thank you so much, Cindy, for joining me. I hope to see you next week, and enjoy your nap. And I know this last deck, it made my third eye tired. It's a lot of shadow energy. If you're not ready for that type of shadows, it can make you really sleepy. So we're going to put this deck to the side now, and we're going to go back to the Dark Mirror deck, because it's not quite as heavy, right? Shadow energy is heavy. I mean, you're dealing with lower vibrations. It does get heavier. So we're going to go back to working with the Dark Mirror. So Tori, right, you're who I'm going to pull a card for next. So Danielle is saying, I have felt the energy since she started the grid. Oh, I'm so glad. So you're really sensitive. So I don't know how much you're working with crystals as is. It sounds like you are really crystal sensitive, which is fantastic, because that means you've got a whole set of things to work with. Not only the crystals, but once you start putting them in the grids, I mean, they really magnify with each other. So yeah, Sarah's saying awesome, and Tori's saying the grid is powerful. Tammy is saying, if you can see spirits, even ones you don't know, does that mean that the evil is taking over you? So not all spirits are evil. And taking over you, that is an in-depth conversation. That is actually a really good question. You know, we should probably have a whole week on just talking about that. Talking about the actual spirits themselves, because that is a huge part of shadow work. But in getting in that, I'm actually going to want to start talking about probably some specific demons. Demons both that we know through text, but also I have my own book of shadows. I have come across dark spirits. I do help people who have dark spirits in their buildings either clear them out or create a working relationship. You know, if you have dark or quote unquote evil spirits around you, there's a difference between it being evil and it being a dark spirit, right? Because dark spirits might try and overtake you, but they're just hungry. They're hungry because of the energy that you're putting off, and they're hungry. They like to eat it. It's like their favorite food. So learning how to give them a different food source and creating boundaries. And that's a huge part of mastering the shadows. So you know what, Tammy, that is such a fantastic question, and something that I think we need to get more detailed in than what I have for the next 15 minutes. So we are going to focus very, very specifically on mastering the shadows and dark entities next week. And we're going to say dark entities, dark spirits. I do not want to say evil, because some of them are evil, but that talks about intent. And again, a huge topic we can get into for next week. And again, I'll have cards and stuff for that. I'll probably have more than one deck, just because I have not found a deck that goes into that type of work in the way I'd want it to. But I'm going to make something. Maybe I'll just make my own cards. I don't know. So yeah, Danielle's saying I don't see though. Yeah, Karen is saying evil based on whose terms? That is a fantastic question, right? Based on whose terms? Again, perspective, boundaries, intentions, there's a lot there. Thank you, Karen. Roses is saying, I've seen a huge dog spirit. It did not scare me though. That's good. And using your instincts, right? And that might be like a shadow guide, right? We have shadow guides just like we do light guides. So yes, Sarah, there is so much to learn about boundaries in the metaphysics. And I think, again, next week, we're definitely going to be talking about working with spirits, dark spirits, shadow spirits. What happens when they come to you? What are the red flags that you know that you're working with them? How do you indicate which ones? And then how do you either, knowing when to banish or when to create boundaries? We're definitely going to be doing that next Wednesday. Yes, it is an awesome topic. So Tammy's saying, just asking because I have been seeing things and they tell me to tell my mom, and then she'll say to me, well, how do you know that name? And I told her, they come to me. So that sounds like you're probably also a medium. So yeah, we need to get into those details. And Tammy, if you ever want to do a session with me, I do offer private sessions. And that sounds like something we might want to explore in some more detailed specifics with that. So yes, and thank you, Karen. Karen is saying thank you, Lee, for saying that they are not all are evil. And they are. They are not all evil, right? The shadows darkness does not mean evil. That's something we've been programmed very negative in a very toxic way. You know what's also dark? Your femininity. Femininity comes from the darkness. The patriarchy comes from the light. That's a whole another topic on a different Wednesday that we can get into, is just mastering the shadows, the play on light and darkness. Wow, look at this. I've already am like coming up with all these other topics for the next few weeks. So it sounds like we're going to be busy. So if you guys like this video, you guys need to be chiming in every Wednesday from 5 to 6. We're going to be covering a lot more with the shadows. Seems like we're going to be getting a lot more into it. So yeah, you need to know black and white and the difference with gray. So, all right, Tori, let me pull your card before I forget. All right, Tori. So what do the shadows have for us to share with you today? Sarah's saying, on my calendar with a reminder. Yes. All right, Tori. So I'm clearing out the cards. I'm really focusing on your energy. Yes, I've seen a little bit about this major transition, just a little bit of what you posted on social media. So I'm real interested to see what the shadows are going to have to share with you with what you're going through. And here is your card right here. So it is Naked Before the Stars. This card is talking all about feeling vulnerable and feeling safe, right? So again, we're going back to this protection and the concept of boundaries, because you need to know where your boundaries are so that way you can create that space where you can feel so vulnerable that you can be naked to the stars, right? Which is, if you're naked to the stars, it means that basically, this is how I see it in my mind. Someone's naked in the stars, they're probably out in the woods with no clothes on during nighttime, right? What kind of things are out? Nighttime's always known as a moment for predators. That's why we naturally fear darkness, is because there's all kinds of animals that hunt during the nighttime. Their eyes are adjusted for that. There's also people's personalities sometimes change at nighttime, but this card is talking about having those types of boundaries so that when that darkness is around, you feel safe. You feel safe to the point that you can be so vulnerable that you're nude, exposing yourself to the bits of light in the darkest of the night, right? So that's what this card is all about. and that self-truth that comes along with it. So thank you so much, Tori. I really hope that this resonates for you. That's just what this card is saying. It is saying to keep pushing yourself. Keep pushing yourself and know your boundaries. Stick with your boundaries. Give no craps with nobody. And just making sure your boundaries are reinforced, because you totally deserve being in a space that makes you feel so comfortable, so safe, that you can allow yourself to be so vulnerable that you can just expose yourself, exposing your raw, nude, nothing covering you self to the stars, right? To that around you. Thank you so much, Tori, for allowing me to pull this card for you. Again, this is awesome. And there's a lot of us who really could use that. But yeah, just keep pushing. So yeah, she's saying totally on point. Thank you so much. You're so welcome. So, all right. Who else would like a reading? All right. So, Robin, I'm feeling really drawn to you. Robin the Bold. Robin is the bold Robin. All right, Robin. So I'm feeling really connected to you for your reading. And guys, if I just kind of skip over your name, I have extreme ADHD. I just go to wherever my eyes go first. So just put it in the comments as much as you like. You will not irritate me whatsoever, even if you put like, I mean, I guess if you're the only person I see for the next like 15 comments, card reading, I might be like, well, I mean, I guess you could play the game that way. You'll be the only person I see. But yes. Robin. So I'm feeling drawn to Robin. All right, Robin. So here is your next card for you. All right, Robin, we've got some duality going here today for tomorrow, right? So this card, we're always talked about being in the present, right? The past is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is the present. It's the gift of the moment, right? That's what we hear so much in the spiritual realm, right? And we really try and be in that present moment. It's really important to be in that present moment. But even though tomorrow is a mystery, you're still empowered to a point to have a little inkling of what is that mystery. It's kind of like when you're a kid and you write that list to Santa for Christmas, and then you get those gifts and you're like, ooh, what is that mysterious gift? What's inside there? You kind of have an idea what it could be because you put out there in the universe what you want, right? Or if you order too many things on Amazon at one time, like you go on a shopping spree on Amazon, you order like 2 new shirts, 2 new books, 2 new crystals, and a new tarot deck. And then they all come within 1 or 2 days. And you're like, oh, I got all these packages. I don't even know what is in what. But you kind of know what's going to be in there before you open it, but you're not fully sure. That's what this card is about. It's about doing things for today so that the gift of tomorrow, when the tomorrow's gift, right, the mystery of tomorrow becomes the gift of today, you have an idea of what's going to be inside that gift. Because if you don't do anything today to plan for tomorrow, when you open that, when that mystery of tomorrow becomes the present of today, you won't know what you're unwrapping. Sometimes the present is not at all what you put on that Amazon cart, right? They might have mixed it up at the warehouse. Maybe they sent you something better. Maybe something that's useless, right? I mean, that happens too. But this deck is all about doing today what can create for tomorrow. What can you do today to help bring forth tomorrow something that you prefer? This isn't talking about doing a whole bunch of stuff. Just that one small thing. What if the one thing you want to do is you just want to lose some weight? You want to be a little smaller. So the one thing you're going to do today to plan for tomorrow is switch that one Coke for water today. Just that one thing. Because that's what this card is about. It is saying that it's all it takes is that one thing. That one thing that you change in this present moment is going to change what kind of gift you're going to get in that mystery from tomorrow. Aaron is saying, I always forget what I order, so it's a surprise when I open the box. I know, right? And then you're like, oh, this is great. And then you get excited. I think that's why, like, Amazon, that's why I have an Amazon Prime account. I need to save on that shipping. Yeah, Stacy, this deck is absolutely amazing. Roses is saying great analogies. So thank you. Yeah, I don't know how else to explain it in that, because it is so important to being in the present moment. But like I said, those choices that you make in the present moment, like, they're going to change what's in that mystery gift that'll be tomorrow. That'll become the gift of today. So you're welcome, Robin. All right. So if you guys would like a reading, go ahead and put that in the comments. I think we've got time for another reading. I'm horrible with time. I don't think anyone comes on after me, so it's not like I'm incredibly hard pressed. All right. So hey Daisy Rivera, welcome. I don't know if we've met before. You seem new. So, all right, Sarah Peak. I'm feeling really drawn to you. And yes, I see all of you want one. I feel drawn to all of you, really. But Sarah, I just feel your energy the loudest. And if you guys are asking for a card and you keep wondering why I'm not getting pulled to you, maybe you're pulling on something that's not, you've got some energy that's connected to your self-truth. And if that's the case, just always take that moment to breathe in through your nose and out, allowing for your energy to be regulated, right? And your self-truth to shine through that. All right, Sarah, your energy, I feel it is vibrating. So let me pull this card for you. All right, here is your card right here. And it says obsession. Obsession. What are you obsessing over, Sarah? It is not a healthy obsession. Is it tasks that aren't getting done perfectly? Is it like it's almost, I don't want to say it's like keeping up with the Joneses, because it's not like you're really wanting to be the best lawn in the neighborhood. But there is an obsession here with wanting to accomplish something or to be seen a certain way. And while it is somewhat tied to your self-truth, it's like the way you're obsessing over it is not in alignment with your self-truth. So it's becoming a little toxic. So just take a bit of a step back, take a bit of a breather, think a little bit more on what you're obsessing over, and just kind of write out a little journal of, is this healthy to think about this so much? Is this wearing me out? How can I do this a little better? Allow for that meditation period to be that energy obsession of really thinking about it, writing it out so you can get all that energy out. Make a game plan with it and allow it to flow and let it go. All right. Allow for it to go, right? Figuring out which way to go job-wise, right? Well, you need to write that list. You need to write that list of your pros and cons. And list making is so important, right? Really using that meditation to get it all out and really write down specifically what it is that you want and let it go. because this overthinking it is actually making it harder for you to manifest it. So like when we manifest things into the universe, when we have desires, it's like we put it into a balloon. All this thought, all this stuff, we're putting in the balloon. I want this job, I want this, da, 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 blah, 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 positive, negative, because a lot of times when we are thinking about something, we're thinking positive, negative, right? So you want to make sure you're putting in all that energy of what you do want, keeping out the thoughts if you don't, right? Writing it on paper, right? Because that's creating a very powerful space that this is where you're writing it. This is the balloon. And then you can burn the paper or put it in a journal to the side and just let it go. Let the balloon go so it can go off and do its thing and then pop and allow for it to come back down and manifest what it is that you want. If you keep pulling on that string and you're not letting it go, it can't ever take it all the way up and then bring it back to you. So I'm just burned out, but really needing to change to something I'm passionate about. Yes, and those are the things you need to write down. You need to acknowledge what has made you burn out, right? You need to make sure you put that on the list of things you know you don't want. And what is the opposite of that? And writing that on the things you do want. And then start searching for those jobs based on that list, right? And don't succumb to anything else. Stick to that list. It's really important. And then what's great is when you make that list, instead of obsessing over it, you can let it go and just follow that list. Instead of having to obsess over it all the time, all right, sticking to the list. You start to feel a little obsessive, just go back to the list. So thank you so much, Sarah, for allowing me to pull that card for you. It seems like it really resonates. And I really hope that it helps you to overcome that burned out feeling and really gets you to where it is that you want to be. So thank you again so much for allowing me to read for you, and for everybody else that I got to read for. Thank you so much. And Sarah saying, I don't think we've met before. No, yeah, this is definitely the first time. So unfortunately, I was not able to get to you to do a reading for you today, Daisy, because we are at our time. I do lives once a week on social media. And then if you are in the Atlanta metro area, I'm going to be offering weekly meetup class, or not weekly, sorry, once a month, a meetup class for tarot and oracle, and also a once a month meetup for meditation. So there are some more opportunities that are coming around, and there'll probably, hopefully, be some more opportunities for me to do more lives other than once a week. I really am trying to organize my life a little more, and hopefully starting to get back to doing live meditation Mondays. I think with everything that's going on, and especially with what came out in today's reading, a lot of us have a lot of stuff going on in our mind, a lot of spirits, a lot of those things. So Monday meditations would be also another great way to open up that space for all of us just to connect with, right? But yes, so next Wednesday, I probably need to write this down. Next Wednesday, we are going to be talking about spirits, entities, dark entities, and the red flags of if they're around. And then what indications that we need to look at to know whether we need to clear them or that we can build some type of a working relationship with them. Or just coexist. Doesn't even have to be a relationship other than respecting boundaries, right? That's a lot, and that's going to be a lot to cover. A lot of you guys, including myself, we all have dark entities around us all the time, right? So maybe calling out some of whose entities very specifically, and just kind of talking about that. It'll definitely be another level of mastering the shadows. But I think since we've been doing this since September, I think we're ready for it. So, yes, you're welcome. And thank you, Daniela, you're saying, thank you, sweetheart. Have a great day and week. You too. Yes, thank you, Daisy. Thank you, Sarah. You're welcome, Erin. What do you charge for a one-on-one? So send me a message, Tammy. They are on I can't remember what my pricing is. It is on my website, my personal website, which is mysticpathllc.com. And there is, if you click on there, I think it's at the top of the tab on the front page, it'll say prices. Just click that and it'll take you to all the prices for my one-on-one classes and readings and healing. And if you guys have specific entities that you are ready to look at one-on-one, because sometimes it can be triggering, it can be something that you might want to do more on a one-on-one, right? So that you can get that personal attention. I do offer sessions where we can start looking at your shadows or entities that are around you very specifically. So yeah, Cheryl saying, wow, since September, it doesn't seem that long ago. No, it doesn't. I can't believe fall is right around the corner. A lot has happened since September, right? So those of you who follow me, just to let you guys know, and why I've been kind of busy is, right, September is also when I published the fall edition of the Mystical Alternative, which can be found on Amazon. And then winter, and then hopefully spring should be out by next week, right? So if you are interested in these type of topics and the things I talk about and all things mystical and stuff, you can catch those out on Amazon. So, all right. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope that you guys have a fantastic week.